Today's code along, we are going to become more familiar with the CSS language. So last week we looked at HTML together for the first time. So this is an example of some HTML. So for example, my name is wrapped in an H3 tag, art, science, and technology is wrapped in an H5. So again, HTML is where the content lives. And then CSS is where we start to style some of this content. So if I head over to my style.css, this is where I see all of my styling. The thing that we're going to do today together is practice changing the typefaces that are in this document. So changing a typeface is actually a two-step process. The first thing that you have to change is in the HTML, you have to link to the typeface that you want to use. So the way that we're going to use typefaces in this class is by linking from Google Fonts. So you can, on your web browser, head over to Google Fonts, and find a typeface that you like. You want to use something that's optimized for screen reading. Roboto and Open Sans, they're right here at the top for a very good reason. They're incredibly readable and they're truly meant for web-based viewing. So I'm going to click here onto Roboto. So I don't want to get just one weight for my business card because I'm pretty sure as I lay mine out, I want to have a bold and I also want to have a regular. So what I can do is I can come over here and hit this plus sign for any of the weights that I want to use. So I'm going to get this 400. And then I'm going to come down, and I wouldn't want to go right to 500 because it's going to be really hard to perceive that difference. You want to have more of a jump in contrast than that. So maybe I'll come down here and I'll get this 700 bold. I wouldn't want to go here and just start clicking other styles that I don't need. The reason being is that it's going to slow down the load time of my document. It's going to be kind of pulling in unnecessary typefaces that I'm not even going to use. So for now, I'm just going to focus on the Roboto 400 and 700. So the way that I want to do this, again, I could do it two different ways. I could actually download this whole folder of these two typefaces and package it with my document. That can be a more stable kind of way to do it. It's how I'm going to suggest when you do your portfolio site. But since today we're just kind of doing a quick warm-up file to get used to the CSS language and practice things, we're going to embed our font instead, meaning that when our document loads, this HTML document, it's actually going to be talking to Google Fonts, pulling down those files and loading it onto the page. So if I come back here and I just grab this whole thing, I can do a Command C to copy that. So it's saying embed a font, copy the code into the head of your HTML. So I'm going to come over here to my index.html. Line 2 is where the head opens. Line 5 is where the head closes. So I'm going to come over here and do a line return, and I'm going to do Command V, and I'm going to paste in my Roboto. So you can see here it's giving me access to two different weights, the 400 and the 700. But that's not the only place. There's a second place that you have to put the information in. So I'm going to come back over here, and it says for the CSS rules to specify font families, I also need this command. So I'm going to come over here and do a Command C. Then I'm going to head to my to see which things I'm styling. So The text that I want to style here today is my H3s and my H5s. So I want my H3 to be that heavier bold, and then I want my H5 to be that 400. So do whatever you need. If you need to write like a little note to yourself, or mark somehow the tags that you're using. So I'm going to come over here to this, and I can see I have some text here at the bottom that's commented out. In VS Code, if you have text that's commented out, you can turn it back on by selecting. I'm going to select here lines 59 to 66, and I'm going to do Command \. And what that just did was it turned on those commands. So before, see, it had this kind of green color. That's how you know that something's inactive. It also has this \, and star. So that means it's in the document, but it's not actually turned on. So I just turned that on. And then let's go back over to my live server and see the document. Again, if you need to launch live server, let me terminate it and start it again so people can see. So you can come over here and dispose, and then you want to hit that go live. And now I'm seeing a live rendering. This is always how you want to work. You want to work side by side, your code, and then a live server showing what you're actually doing as you're coding. And so then let's see what happens when I paste in that command. So you can see what just happened on the screen. My name just changed to that Roboto. So now let's come over here, do it again. Now that art, science, and technology also changed to the Roboto. So that is how you modify typefaces.